regular Monday day. I wanted to say something about some things I was discussing with a couple of my homies the other day. Um, why is it so hard for us to support one another, and why do we hate on one another so bad to the point where people don't even want to mess with us anymore? You know what I mean? And I honestly feel like when it comes down to us supporting one another, you know, you got one of your best friends, your family members, or whomever, they out here trying to do something positive or try to do something, to get to the top or, feed their family. And I feel like people don't ever support them the way that they need to support them because of their own self-insecurities. Feeling like if I help you, I'm just helping you. And, like, why do you feel that you have to gain something every time that you help somebody that you care about? Or somebody you say you fuck with? Like, why do you have to gain something? Why you just can't gain the respect and the loyalty of that person? Because you never know later down that line, they may, you know what I'm saying, you may need them and they come through for you. Or you never know what that person thinking. It may be years and years later, but they'll probably never forgot that because, you stuck it through with them. You know what I'm saying? You helped them out in a time or when they needed somebody. But I definitely feel like it's a self-insecurity type of thing, that we don't help each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we rather tear each other down versus building each other up. And I really think it's because, people think that they can't do nothing. Because I don't have this, or I ain't got that, or, they don't accept this and they don't accept that. Like, man, there's so many avenues in this world. There's so many things that people can do. You got to know yourself. You got to find something. There's nothing wrong with going back to the drawing board. There's nothing wrong with, all right, I'm going to try this. Oh, that didn't work. I'm going to try something else. There's nothing wrong with that. You get one life, and you should be able to do whatever the fuck it is that you really want to do with your life. But for those people who just feel like that they can't support nobody, or they just want to be standoffish, like, man, you got to stop that. You got to support your people. You got to support people who, you know what I'm saying, just look at it. Somebody's coming to you for your help, your support. And you rather not do it because you don't want to gain. You're not gaining nothing. But you have the knowledge to, you know what I'm saying, to boost them to a certain plateau where they might take you with them. Or they may, never forget, like I said. But because you don't want to see nobody else shine because you're not shining, now you don't want to get that knowledge away. Word to the wise, knowledge means nothing if you don't spread it. Knowledge goes nowhere if you don't spread it. Like I told my homie the other day, what type of dude would be respected? And not just a dude, this goes for females too. Like, what type of person would be respected? The one that has $1 million and know how to get $1 million and not tell his homies, or the one that know how to get $1 million and teach it to his homies and they get $1 million and they know how to get another $1 million and so do he, and they just build together and continuously build. You got to think about those things, man. You got to stop being insecure with yourself and feel like that, I don't want to help nobody because they gonna be shining and I'm not. Like, no. You know what I'm saying? Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't be doing all that. It ain't even worth it. Allow that person to shine. You shining too, because without you, there would be no them, you know what I'm saying, at that point. They wouldn't be in the position that they're in if it wasn't for you. And that itself should make you feel more motivated to get up and do something yourself. Like, damn, I gave this person a great idea and they ran with that, and look at them. Look at the shit that they doing. Damn, I'm out here giving great ideas. Man, I need to give myself a great idea. Or, you know what? Maybe that's just what I'll do. Maybe I'll just see how far I can go with giving people great ideas. Having people pay me to get them ideas for them to start their own business. For them to start their own, own whatever it is, whatever it is that they want to accomplish. Why not think of that? And then the whole beating each other down thing, like making fun of each other. Like, you see a lot of these rappers nowadays, they are, oh man, your man broke her. your female ain't got what I got. Like, don't you remember you ain't have a pot to piss in? Don't you remember when you was standing there trapping them dirty ass clothes? Don't you remember when you had to go get your weed from the beauty supply store? You had to get $1 pack of weed. Like, don't you remember all that? But you would psychologically beat down your people because you want to make it. You want to seem richer, or you want to seem more important than everybody else around you. So you beat down the little man, but you don't remember you were just there. And nowadays, it's like we see it every day. So we repeat it. Our friends, our family come to us like, man, I want to do this. Ah, man, you can't do that shit. Ah, man, you can't do that shit. Ah, man, nigga, you broke. Ah, you know, man, she broke as hell. Look at her shoes. Look at her clothes. Like, why do that? You don't know that person's situation. You don't know what it is that person going through. Maybe this is all they can afford. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, with the money or whatever it is that they got, this is the only way that they can look a certain way with what they have. And if you come from where I come from, you got to make something out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? You got to make things happen when things they're not supposed to happen. So that's crazy that we live in a society where everything around us tells us beat each other down. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, if he ain't rocking this and rocking that, then he a bum. Or if she ain't wearing this and wearing that, if her purse ain't $5,000, then she ain't on shit. Like, what? What? You gonna beat me down for being an average Joe when your ass was just in the same boat I am? But you got, you know what I'm saying, the universe blessed you with something. You know what I'm saying? Blessed you with an opportunity to have more, but you rather beat everybody around you down who don't have what you have right now. But you just didn't have it. And I know a lot of these people nowadays that are rich and have money, they weren't born with a silver spoon in their mouth. They had to grind to get everything that they getting just like the next person. So how dare you look down on somebody? And we got to start paying attention to these things. We have to start paying attention to the fact of why do we beat up people for what they have? Why do we talk down on people when, you know, I'm behind on my bills, but because I know how to hide it better, I'm going to make fun of everybody else, or I'm going to talk shit about everybody else. Like, that's not the way that we should operate, man. We should be more understandable about each other, and we should be sitting here like, you know what? I was just there. I was just in your position. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying all famous people do that or whatever, and I'm just using them for an example because that is what we see every day. That is what we hear every day on the TV. You know, on the radio we hear it, you know, from other people around us. Like, we've adopted this whole beating each other down thing to the max, that everywhere we look and everywhere we go, this is where it's at. You know, you got somebody sneak dissing or, you know, throwing shade at somebody because they don't have something, but it was like, weren't you just in this position? So I just feel like, man, you know, it's about time that we wake up and start helping one another and start building. You know what I'm saying? In the military, there's a wall that everybody got to climb, but everybody got to figure out a way up. So what they do, two people boost one person up, then that person grabs one person, then those two people grab the other person, and then three people grab other people, and then the cycle continues. And that is the way that we have to do certain things, man. We got to build each other up. We got to stop talking shit about people because they less fortunate or they don't have everything that we have. Like, you can't, just because you got something, you can't forget where you come from. You can't forget that you just didn't have shit not too long ago. You can't forget these things. These are things that make you you. And to sit down and just feel like that you are more important than somebody else because you got certain things makes you really just as bad as the people who have created this shit to be the way that it is. So you are no better than them. And if you want to be better, you need to change that. You know what I'm saying? You need to definitely change that because, you know, I've always done that. I've always felt like no matter what, you know, I'm going to do what I can to help my people. I'm going to do what I can to help somebody in need. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter who it is. It could be a family member. Maybe you don't feel comfortable just doing it with random people, but a family member. You know, a sister, a brother, a niece, a nephew, whatever you can do. You know, you got to do that. Because at the end of the day, it ain't about the people. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about the people, and all of us don't have the same belief, but it's really you know what I'm saying, about how the universe views you. You know, it's not about people. It's about the universe. It's about how, you know, what you put out in the universe for you to get back. If you do good things, you'll get good things in return. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like that's some shit that we really need to focus on, man. You know, but it eventually changed. Things will come back to being the way that it's supposed to be. But we got to change that. We got to stop. We got to tell ourselves, no, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not making this happen. No, I'm not finna do that. No, I'm not finna beat my people down no more. No, I'm about to help. I'm gonna help those that really want my help, and the ones that don't, then, you know, eventually they'll come around. Or maybe I'm just not the person to help them. Maybe I'm the person, you know, maybe it's somebody else in this world that's meant to help them, and that's fine, and that's all right. Nothing wrong with that at all, period. But we got to get it together, and eventually we will. Eventually. But holla at you.